Developing tonight, outrage from residents who live in a near North Side apartment complex after a teenager was shot and killed there over the weekend.
Several people who are living at that complex tell 13 News and also have gone to social media where they're speaking out. They're railing against the short-term rentals in the place that they call home. And one of those residents today spoke with our Emily Longnecker.
Well, IMPD says the investigation is still open into the 17-year-old that was shot and killed in this apartment building over the weekend during a party. Investigators believe it happened inside an apartment, not an apartment they say where someone lives, but in an apartment that's a short-term rental.
Security is like one of my top priorities.
But any sense of safety he felt in this near Northside apartment complex has disappeared for Riley Watts.
I was sleeping. I heard gunshots.
Watts later learned 17-year-old Xavier Whitlow was shot and killed in the apartment building across the street.
The tragedy that happened this weekend, that could have been avoided completely.
Watts blames short-term rentals. He says his lease says no subletting, but says the property manager told him the complex offers corporate leases with different terms.
This is what the property manager told me. If it's an LLC, then it can be rented out, or it can be Airbnb'd.
We reached out to the grounds property management 2 days in a row to ask about short-term rentals. We have not received a specific response. Watts provided a text exchange he says happened between a tenant and management earlier this year, asking about short-term rentals. Here was management's response. Quote, "We do not permit personal Airbnbs. However, we have a handful of corporate leases that furnish the apartment and rent out to short-term rentals. These are not always through Airbnb, but sometimes are." The message goes on to say there are still extensive background checks with short-term rentals. That doesn't make Watts feel any better.
I want to have a neighbor that I know. I don't want to have a neighbor that I don't know, and that's just revolving.
And Watts says he is going to be moving as soon as his lease is up. And again, according to police, there are still no updates in this investigation. On the near North Side, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
And if you have any information about this shooting which led to the teen's death, you are urged to reach out and call Crime Stoppers 317-262-TIPS.